Day 29. Forgotten Joseph. Warned by angels, moved to save him, who was born our kind to save. Joseph led his holy family far from Herod and harm's way. Flight into Egypt. When I was pastoring in Missouri, we put on live nativities a few times. Not far from our church was a convenience store. The lady that ran it was a member of the church. Near the store was a flat, grassy area. She gave us permission to present our live nativities there. This was a great location because the store was located on the main road leading through our town. In preparation for these live nativities, we got some men in the church to build a wooden stable backdrop and a manger. Others hauled in bales of hay. One man even provided us with a real donkey. We recruited church members to play the roles of Mary, Joseph, the angels, and the shepherds. We decided not to include the wise men since they didn't actually arrive until after Jesus' birth. We also concluded it would be better to use a doll for baby Jesus, since the temperatures that were usually pretty chilly in late December. Our actors agreed to stand in their assigned spots for 30 minutes at a time. Then another group would take their place. At first, we wanted to have Christmas carols sung live, but soon realized our singers would wear out pretty quickly if the weather turned cold, which it normally did. So we settled for recorded Christmas songs played over a portable PA system. For about 3 hours a night, over 2 or 3 nights, we presented these live nativities. Many people from our small town and the rural areas around drove by to see them. A lot of people were very complimentary and appreciative. Some even pulled into the convenience store or down a nearby side street, parked their cars, and walked over to get a closer look. Many people noticed that there were no wise men. Some even asked about this. The scene seemed incomplete without them. They were used to the wise men being part of the church plays and pageants over the years. Plus, the wise men, like the angels, the shepherd, and Mary, have Christmas carols about them. Lately, as I've been thinking back, remembering those live nativities, I've began wondering, if we'd left Joseph out instead of the wise men, would people have noticed as quickly? After all, few Christmas carols mention him, and almost none feature him. Often he is only mentioned at Christmas time along with Mary and Jesus. I think for many people, Joseph just fades into the background. That's a shame. Joseph's tendency to quickly obey the Lord serves as a great example for us. In Matthew 1:19, Joseph is called a righteous man. That doesn't mean he was perfect, but that he had a strong desire to live his life in a way pleasing to God. This desire to obey the Lord is vividly illustrated in the first 2 chapters of Matthew. In them, the Lord gives Joseph concrete directions 4 times through a dream: 1:20, 2:13, 2:19, and 2:22. The first 3 times an angel appears to him in a dream. However, the way God spoke to him wasn't what was important. What was important was Joseph knew God had spoken to him. He understood clearly what God had said, and he knew what he was to do in response. In Matthew 1:18-25, Joseph didn't know Mary's pregnancy was from the Holy Spirit and was the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecy. So he was perplexed as what he was going to do. To rectify this, God tells him what is going on and assigns him 3 key tasks. He is to take Mary as his wife, 1:20, to name her child Jesus, 1:21, and to keep Mary a virgin until the birth of her child, 1:23. When Joseph wakes up, he did as the Lord's angel had commanded him. He married her, but did not have sexual relation with her until she gave birth to a son, and he named him Jesus, 1:24 and 25. He did exactly what God had commanded him without hesitation or divination. In Matthew 2:13-15, Joseph didn't know how Herod would react after discovering the wise men had outwitted him. But the Lord knew. So he sent an angel to warn Joseph in a dream about Herod's plan to kill Jesus, 1:13. This time the angel ordered Joseph to do 4 things. Get up, take the child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I tell you, 1:13. In response, Joseph got up, took the child and his mother during the night, and escaped to Egypt. He stayed there until Herod's death. 1:14 and 15. Once again, he did exactly what God had commanded without hesitation or deviation. In Matthew 2:19 to 23, an angel again came to Joseph in a dream. He told of Herod's death, 2:19 and 20, and called him to action. The Lord had explicitly told Joseph, "Stay there until I tell you," 2:13. So he did. However, as soon as the angel commanded him, "Get up, take the child and his mother, go to the land of Israel," he got up, took the child and his mother, and entered the land of Israel. 2:20-21. A third time we see Joseph doing what God commanded without hesitation or deviation. The angel hadn't explicitly told Jesus where in Israel to go. Evidently, Joseph was planning on heading to Judea, perhaps back to Bethlehem. However, he heard that Archelaus was ruling over Judea in place of his father Herod, and he was afraid to go there. 2:22. After Herod's death, his kingdom was divided among his sons. Archelaus, the oldest, ruled Judea, Samaria, Idumea. Herod Philip II ruled the regions north of Galilee outside of Israel, and Herod Antipas ruled Galilee and Perea. Joseph was wise to fear Archelaus. He was such a violent ruler that later the Roman Empire deposed him. So with Judea no longer an option, Joseph had to decide where to go. After a fourth dream, he withdrew to the region of Galilee. Then he went and settled in a town called Nazareth. 2:22 and 23. The choice of Nazareth put his family right where God wanted them. This fulfilled what was spoken through the prophets, that he would be called a Nazarene. 2:23. In all of these incidences, God gave Joseph directions, and without hesitation or deviation, he obeyed. What an example for us today. God has revealed his will to us in his word and offers us concrete guidance in applying it to our lives through his Spirit. However, unlike Joseph, we sometimes hesitate or deviate from what his Spirit and his word clearly tells us to do. We justify this by claiming that we don't have a clear understanding or a clear sense of God's will for us. However, often the problem isn't a lack of understanding of his will, but a lack of desire to carry it out. Honestly, we would like to bend God to our will rather than humbly submitting to his. Rather than saying, "Not my will, but thine be done," we would prefer to pray, "Not thy will, but mine be done." Joseph wasn't like that. He submitted and obeyed the Lord. As a result, God carried out his purpose through him. Joseph may often be the forgotten character of Christmas, but his actions have much to teach us.